All right, let's do a lower leg routine. You need a block, a strap, and a chair. We're going to start in standing. You're going to put the block between your feet. So you're going to stand with your feet. They'll end up being hip distance apart. And you're going to stand tall for a moment. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to bring your awareness into your lower legs. And take a few breaths and be in your body, specifically below the knees, from the knees down. Start to feel the way you tend to stand. Think of your anchor points, the base of the big toe, base of the baby toe, in the center of your heel. What does that feel like today? Are you leaning to one side? Are you putting equal weight on both feet? And open your eyes. We're going to start. You're going to start by widening all your 10 toes. So create space between all your toes if you can, lifting them off the floor. And then we're going to drop the toes and lift. So we're going to repeat going up and down, trying to fatigue our toe extensor muscles, strengthening them, and you're being aware that your ankle bones are grazing the side of the block and your big toes are touching the side of the block. If your toes if you have bunions and your toes really don't touch the block, you're going to put a strap around both big toes. Rest all 10 toes down. Keep them wide. Stand tall, close your eyes, and relax your toes. Relax your feet. Think of your anchor points again. See where if things are changing at all. Good, open your eyes. You're gonna now lift your right heel off the floor, keeping the side of your ankle bone, the inside of your ankle bone, touching the block as you go up and as you go down. So the big toe is touching the block and the inside ankle bone stays in very light contact with the block. So you're lifting up and you're dropping down. So your weight's mainly on your left leg and you're just loosening the ankle joint, retraining proper alignment, proper movement. Good. Stay at the top. Hold here. Take a nice breath. And then slowly drop the heel down and switch sides. Lifting your heel up and dropping. Ankle bone, the inside of the ankle bone is lightly touching the block. Big toe stays in contact with the block. The standing leg, think of your anchor points so that you're not all on the outside of the foot. That ankle bone on the right still touching the block. Hold at the top. Take a breath. And then drop the heel down nice and easy. Both heels will come up at the same time and dropping. So again, the inside of your ankle bones are lightly touching the block. So you're being mindful. So it's like you've got to draw your inner thighs together, unless you have a tendency to have knock knees, in which case you're pulling your knees apart because you don't want to pick up the block, you just lightly want to be touching it. Thinking of your anchor point, so as you're raising up on your toes, there's weight at the base of the big toe and the baby toe. Last one, you're going to hold this one. And drop. Close your eyes, stand tall, feel the effects. So we've fatigued our calf muscles. And now you want to let your leg bones support your body weight. So you don't want your calves to remain tight. You want to get rid of the tension you've just created by doing the exercise. Always about finding a balance. Using the muscles, so finding strength, but then letting go so you don't build up any tension in your body. It's being strong, but being relaxed. Let your feet and let your lower leg bones support the rest of your body weight. Relax the calves. Good, open your eyes. Now you're gonna, same thing, but you're gonna lift your right foot up off the floor, keeping your weight on your heel, and the ankle bone stays in contact with the block, and so does the base of the big toe, base of the baby toe. So if you look under the foot, you're gonna notice that everything's coming up straight. So you don't want to be on an angle to come up. You want to have your foot as flat as possible. Next time you come up, you're going to hold the foot up, staying in contact with the block, keeping the foot flat, activating the front of your leg muscles, your shins, and drop the foot down. Nice work. You're going to do the other side, lifting and lowering. So you'll notice usually one side's easier than the other. So you're paying attention. You want to have both sides. Most of the time you have to concentrate on lifting near the baby toe side. Your foot wants to be on an angle, and you have to really pull on the outside of the foot to make it more even. Nice flat lift. We're going to hold the next one. Hold it. And slowly release. Stand tall, close your eyes, feel the effects. Now you've exhausted the front part of your shins, so that's where you want to mentally and physically relax. Send the signal from your brain down to your shins and let go of those muscles. Let your foot bones, ankle bones, lower leg bones support your body weight. The muscles and the soft tissue, they take a break, so relax as much as you can. Good, open your eyes. Mini squats. So you're bending at the ankles, you're bending at the knees, and a little bit of bend at the hips, up and down. So your ankle bones stay in contact with the block, the inside of your big toe, the side of your big toe. So you're not squatting. It's not a typical squat going back. It's just a little squat. It's really about bending at those three joints. Retraining our lower legs to be in proper alignment. Good. This next one, you're going to come down and you're going to hold. Think of your anchor points in your feet. You're slightly touching the block, tall and relaxed. Good. Come back up, close your eyes, feel the effects. Soften those three joints. Relax the ankle joint. Relax the knee joints and the hips. Good. To put it all together, we're going to work on balance. Keeping one foot against the block, you're going to lift the other knee. You're going to find a spot on the floor in front of you where you can keep your focus in your gaze. And you're going to balance on that one foot, thinking of your anchor points. How relaxed can you keep your muscles while standing on one leg? Good. Drop the left foot down. Place it properly against the block. Shift your weight on that side. When you're ready, lift your right knee. Keep your big toe and ankle bones slightly touching the block. Find your balance. Find a spot. Focus. Now, once you've found somewhat of a balance, you're going to try and use the least amount of effort. So relax your lower leg, relax your joints, your ankle, your knee, your hip, and release the right leg down. Good. Stand tall, close your eyes, feel the effects. Let your leg bones support your body weight. Try and relax your calf muscles, your shins, your feet, your arches. So you're standing tall, nice arches, but how relaxed can you keep them? How's your weight feeling through your feet now? What do your anchor points feel like? Good. We're going to grab the chair next. You're going to sit, keep the block in front of you. You're going to have your feet on either side of the block. You're going to stand tall, take a moment, take a breath. Exhale. Again. And release. And extend the right leg. Keep the left one bent. And we're going to work at releasing our quad muscles. Oftentimes we just overuse this muscle. So you're going to tighten the quad and release it. Tighten and release it. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. So your kneecap's lifting and then it's dropping. Lifting and dropping. So people either have a hard time contracting it or more often is having a hard time letting it go. So the kneecap doesn't actually drop. So you have to play around with it. Your leg stays straight. Sometimes you got to tap it. Has a hard time with this type of instruction. And then release completely and let it go. Same thing, other side. Contracting and releasing. Contract, release. Contract, release. Good. Bend the knee, sit tall, relax, close your eyes, feel the effects. Think of your quads sitting in this position and keeping them relaxed. You've just trained them how to turn off. Now can you sit with that muscle turned off? Good. Extend your right leg again. This time, you're going to bring the block out in front of you so it's even with that foot. So the ankle bone and the big toe, the side of the big toe is touching the block. You're going to flex and extend the foot. So it's like you're pointing down and dorsiflexing up. So plantar flexing, dorsiflexing, plantar flexing, dorsiflexing. So you're keeping your block there because it's guiding you. Because if you have any lower leg issues, often what's going to happen is the foot's going to want to turn or it's going to want to unglue from the block. And so you're retraining proper movement with the block guiding how it should go. And if you have to slow it down, slow it down. Good. And you're going to hold here. You can bring the block back in. You're going to turn your foot in and out. So you're moving now just at the ankle bone. The leg's not moving. So my kneecap's facing towards the ceiling. There's no movement of my thigh side to side. It's pure ankle called inversion, eversion. Good. Now we're going to do the same idea, but you're going to include the upper part of your foot, so the forefoot. And you're going to turn it so your toes are included in the movement. So you're twisting the top part of your foot. So you're going side to side, but it's like your toes are trying to wave to one side and they're waving to the other side. So we're loosening all the tiny bones in the foot. All your tarsal bones become included in this movement. Good. And bring it back in. Perfect. Extend the other foot, bring the block out for the flexion and extension. Ankle bone, the side of the big toe is touching the block, point and lift. Plantar flex, dorsiflex. Plantar flex, dorsiflex. So you're just staying, trying to, you'll see sometimes the block will want to move. A little bit of movement's not too bad, but you're trying to limit, but you're trying to stay glued to it as much as you can. Motor control, retraining the signal from the brain to the leg on how it's supposed to move properly. That as you walk away from the class, your alignment and your way of walking should improve. Good. Remove the block. Inversion, eversion, side to side. So just pure ankle movement at this point. Your toes stay relaxed. There's no movement of the knee. There's no movement of the thigh. See if you can keep your quad relaxed so you don't want your quad fully engaged. And then foot twist. So including the movement of the toes in your inversion eversion. So we're loosening all the tarsal bones in the foot, and we're strengthening all these little intrinsic muscles in your foot. Good. Last one. And pull it back in. Feet on either side of the block. Sit tall. Close your eyes. Deep breaths. Relax your quad muscles. Relax your kneecaps. And then everything from the knee down. Trying to release the muscles along the shins in the front of the leg, your calves in the back of the leg, and all the little intrinsic muscles in your feet. Soften, let them go. Let gravity just let your feet support your body weight, as relaxed as you can be. Good. Now we're going to do leg extensions. So you're just barely going to lift your foot off the floor. You're going to extend the leg out, and you're going to pull it back in. It's got the ankle bone and the side of the big toe will lightly touch the block, and then you'll kick your heel to your bum, so as far as you can go, and you're going to keep repeating. Extending and bending it in. Extending, bending it in. If you have lower leg issues, knees or feet, this tends to be hard the first few times because you're essentially used to your leg maybe wanted to do a little arc, or it may struggle to stay perfectly straight. Last one. Heel to bum and drop the foot. And relax. Extend the other leg. Same thing. Raise the block. Keeping a perfectly straight leg all the way through. Interestingly enough, if this is difficult, it doesn't take long. A few sessions of repeating this exercise, and you already will find a big change in your ability to keep it straight. And then that will translate into your everyday walk. Last one, heel to bum. Drop the foot, sit tall, close your eyes, deep breath. Relax your quads, your thighs, relax your kneecaps, let them drop. Relax your calves, your shins, and your feet. Relax your hip joints. Relax your ankle joint, your knee joints and your ankle joints. Good. Stand tall. Back to balance. Weight on the right foot. Anchor down. Lift your left knee. Try and be mindful of keeping the big toe and the ankle bone touching the block, but being tall, not collapsing through the arch. Stare at a spot. Be strong mentally. Stay focused. How little effort can you put in your lower legs to support your body weight? How relaxed can you keep those muscles? And drop down. Transfer your weight to the left. Anchor down. When you're ready, lift your right knee. Depending on the thickness of your mat, sometimes it's easier to be doing the balance work off the mat. This mat's a little bit thick, so it's a little bit more challenging. If you have a thin mat, then it should be fine. Good. And step down. All right. We're going to come up against the wall. You're going to put your block horizontally against the wall. We're going to start with your hands against the wall, and you're going to step back with your right foot. We're going to get into some calf stretching. So the back leg stays straight. Your foot must be facing forward, nice and straight, so be mindful of that. Bend your right knee and lean your body forward until you feel a nice stretch in your calf muscle. So anchoring down at the base of the big toe, baby toe, center of your heel. So really try and feel that. Where's the center? Sometimes you'll have to shift your foot to adjust the way you're weight bearing. And then you'll feel more of a stretch in one area than the other. So if you're anchoring through those 3 points, enjoy the stretch that gives you. And then as much as possible, relax your calf. Like let go of that leg. Like let your foot sink into the floor. Surrender in the back of the leg. Relax that kneecap as much as you can. Relax that quad on that side as much as you can. Good. Step forward. Stepping back with your left foot. Toes point forward. Anchor down in your 3 points. Find the center of that. Bend your front knee. Lean your body forward. And enjoy a good calf stretch. Anchoring down, big toe, baby toe. Center of the heel. It may be a complete different experience than the other side. That's fine. Wherever you feel it is where it needs to be released. The rest of the time now you're just thinking about letting go. Don't tense up in that muscle. Don't fight it. See how relaxed can you keep the calf so the stretch can be more of a permanent thing. If you're fighting against it, you may want to come back a bit. If you're not able to let go, how far can I go that I can completely relax so that the change can be more permanent. And step forward. Nice work. All right. Coming up to your block, both feet stepping high on the block and then coming down. So you're stretching your toes. So your heels are touching, your big toes are touching, and you're folding at the toes. So it's often your baby toes will be off the ground a little bit. So you're going to work at pushing your baby toes down to the floor and back up. Drop and lift, drop and lift. So you're anchoring at the base of the big toe. Now you're working the outside of the foot, creating some strengthening of this metatarsal arch that we call. All the way down and all the way up. Good. The next time the toes come down, hold them down. You're now going to keep your knees together. You're going to bend your knees towards the wall. So getting more of a plantar fasciitis stretch. So keep the baby toes down, knees towards the wall. You might stretch in your Achilles tendon, so lower in the calf or under your feet or in your toes. Wherever you feel it, it's fine. If you're feeling it in the spine or in the back, then you're working too hard. Relax your spine, relax your pelvis. And just breathe. And slowly come up. Nice work. We're going to work on our balance one more time before we move down to our mats. Standing on your right leg, anchoring down, lift your left one. So every time we work on our balance, once again, as we're trying to integrate what we've just learned, what our body, the changes that have just happened, the balance work makes your body integrate it more. So it gets used to standing with either the muscles relaxed, with the proper alignment, or the new flexibility. Good, drop down, switch sides. Anchor down, lift your right knee. So hopefully the balance is getting a little bit easier. The more you're getting rid of tensions, unwanted tensions, the more you're strengthening certain muscle groups, and the more you're learning to relax below the knee. Relax your kneecap. Good. And step down. Nice work. You're now going to need the strap, and you're going to come down on your mat. You're going to place the strap around your lower legs, so just near the ankles. You're going to tighten the strap. So we're trying to keep our heels glued together, or like both big toes. If you have bunions, you may want to put an elastic or something that'll keep your big toes together. And you're going to come into a kneeling position. So toes stay together. The heels are together, and you're going to sit on your heels like so. So you may have to yank the strap a little bit tighter once you're in position. And then once you're there, you're going to come into high kneeling, and you're going to drop down onto your heels. Up and down. So toes are together, heels are together, and you're just moving up and down. This is excellent for knees, for realignment, the way the tibia is in relation to the femur bone. Next time you come up, you're going to hold a couple of breaths. And then you're going to sit on your heels. Heels stay together. Toes are relaxed. Let your body weight sink down. Close your eyes and deep breathe. Another way to stretch your plantar fascia. Get your legs used to being in the proper alignment. Good. Come back up. Remove the strap. You're going to come up into standing. You're going to stand with your feet hip distance apart. You can put the block if you prefer. Tall, eyes closed. Feel the effects. See what your anchor points are feeling like now. Feel like how your weight's distributed between both feet. Good. Stand back on your mat a little bit. If your mat is thin, you may want to roll it, or you may want to add a blanket or something. You're going to come forward with one foot. You're going to arch your foot so that the big toe anchors down on the mat, and then you're going to push your ankle bone forward. So you're stretching the front of your foot. So this can be very uncomfortable if it's not something you ever do. So just go as far as you're comfortable going. And release. Step down. Anchor down on that right foot. Extend the left. Curl your big toe. And push forward. So it's like you're trying to open up the front part of your ankle bone. And release. Nice work. Back with the strap between your, or around your ankles or the lower part of your leg. You're going to tighten once again. And now you're going to go with your feet flat, so your toes are not curled under. So you may want to tighten your strap once again once you're in position. And now you're going to go back to that high kneeling position, come all the way down and all the way up. So your heels stay connected. If you're able to keep everything connected without the strap, don't use the strap. Hold the next one up top. And then sit down on your heels, trying to keep your heels glued together. A couple of breaths. Good. Come on up. Remove the strap. Stand in Tadasana, so in mountain pose. Feet hip distance apart. Stand tall, close your eyes, and breathe. Feel the effects. Good. Step wide on your mat. So heel toe your feet as wide as you're comfortable going without it pulling too much in your groin. It's not about your groin. It's about creating arches in your feet. So anchor at the base of the big toe, baby toe, heels, and then push your feet out to create a nice arch underneath. So just anchoring at the base of the big toe. You can lift your heels just to make sure you get that right, then let your toes rest back down. And then you just stay there and you hold it and you breathe. And you try and relax everywhere else except for your feet working. So relax your kneecaps, relax your thighs, your hips, your pelvis, your spine, and work on your arches. Relax your toes. Good. And slowly step back in. And then on your mat or off your mat, going to work on balance one more time. Right knee goes up, or left knee comes up, anchoring down on your right foot. You can use your block to make sure that your ankle bone and your big toe stays in contact. Keeping your mind steady while you're looking, staring at a spot. Drop the left foot, anchor down, lift your right. Good. Step down. From here, we're going to go into deep squats if it's there for you, if it's not too hard. Some people like to hold on to those big like water jugs that you put in a water cooler to counterbalance with a little bit of water in it to have out in front of you. So you can have your arms out. You can hang on to a weight, even something that has a little bit of a weight. You're going to come down as far as you're comfortable going. So if you can go all the way, you go all the way. You try not to lift your heels. You try and keep an arch. You try and keep everything straight and back up. See how far down you can go. Anywhere between 6 to 12 is good. It's really about rebuilding proper alignment. So the knees stay forward, the arches are in your feet. Back to standing tall, arms at your side, eyes closed. Deep breath. Feel the effects. And finishing off with some roll downs, anchoring through your feet, toes wide, nice arches, relaxed quads, kneecaps, shins, and calves. Inhale tall. Tuck your chin, exhale your way down. One vertebra at a time. Stay relaxed through your feet, through your lower legs. And then inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale up and down and up. Exhale down. This time you're going to stay down. You're going to relax your upper body and relax your lower legs. Relax your quads, your kneecaps, calves, shins, feet, arches, toes. Let your leg bones support your weight. How relaxed can you be in your lower legs? Push through your feet, round yourself back up. Nice work. You're going to come down to your mat. We're going to finish off our session with a bit of relaxation, Shavasana. You're going to start with your legs wide on your mat. You're going to flip-flop your legs in and out, in and out. So rotating at the leg bone. And completely release with your feet hanging out to the sides. Palms will turn to face the ceiling. Deep breaths, relax your body, and you'll take a few moments here where your awareness will be in your legs, specifically your lower legs. And they've exercised quite a bit through the session. Now give them permission to let go. Any tension that may have been accumulated, you want to release. It's like saying thank you for the hard work, but now you can relax. It's your reward. Let go of everything you've tensed up. You can stay in this position for 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you want. If you can keep your focus in your lower legs and you can hold this position long enough and not lose focus on letting go of that lower leg, you can stay here as long as you want. And repeat this session on a regular basis and start to see your leg bones change, your alignment improve, your strength improve, your flexibility improve. Thank you for joining me.